So lately I've been seeing this yarn everywhere on my Pinterest feed as well as here on YouTube, and it's the all-in-one granny square yarn by Red Heart. And I've been going back and forth on whether I should try it. I really love granny squares and share a lot of different sort of motif pattern videos with you all, as well as I just love creating things with the motif myself and exploring granny squares. And I also don't really have a problem with weaving in all of the ends personally, but I thought that it was just a really great concept, the kind of idea of an all-in-one granny square yarn. So I just decided I'd try it out and see how I like it and share my thoughts with you all here. And this video is not sponsored. I spent my own money to buy it. And so all of the opinions that I have on this yarn will be my opinions. And I'll just go through the process of making the squares here with you all and take you along with me on the journey and see if I'll make anything with the squares as well. And welcome back to this channel. My name is Sterling and I'm the artist here behind Cactus Lady Creation. And this community just hit 5K subscribers. So thank you all for subscribing. And if you want to join me here every Tuesday and sometimes on Saturdays for crochet inspiration, tutorials, and behind the scenes of running my fiber art business, make sure you subscribe and click the bell and join our little blooming community here. And look, some JoAnn packages just arrived. So let's open them up and I'll share what I got. Ooh. Okay, so I got a few of these hot stuff. These names. I got a few of these hot stuff skeins. Got 4 of them. And also got another box. Got another box because I'm a bit of a yarnaholic. So with Valentine's Day coming up, I got some of these cute little heart pony beads to add to some creations, because why not? And I also got some Big Twist cotton yarn skeins in red, and then I got them in black as well. I also got a couple of these skeins of Big Twist that are black with some gray specks, which are pretty cool. And I also got some heart connectors for adding to some pieces as well. I thought that they could be a nice little accent piece. So this hot stuff granny square skein, it starts with maroon and then it goes to, so it starts with maroon and then it goes to sort of like a lighter purple and then this sort of red color and then pink, and then it ends with the sort of white color for the border. And the idea of it is that you can create a whole granny square starting from the center and then working all the way to the edge without having to cut off, trim, and tie in the ends before starting the next round. So the whole concept is quite revolutionary. You can just use this one skein to create, 14. Okay, so one skein can create 14 different squares. And they have the granny square pattern for you to use in order to make the continuous granny square inside of the label. So I'm going to be following the label, even though I might do it a little bit differently, just to see if it lines up properly, so that because I'm not a big fan of really undoing and then reworking the square. So I'm going to just follow the pattern and see how I go, and we'll see what happens. They have a vest t-shirt pattern in here. That's kind of cool. And it also says it's machine wash on warm in a gentle cycle, tumble dry low. I usually like to turn mine inside out and use a laundry bag to wash them and then just dry them flat, because if you dry them and you hang them to dry, it'll stretch if it's not drying flat. So, okay, let's start. So to create the square, you're going to start in the center. It's a center pull, which is pretty convenient because I usually like to center pull, prefer to. And so I've got my edge, and they have it really easy and accessible, which is always really nice when you've got the center kind of hanging out like that, because then you don't have to like dig in the skein to try and find it and then it's tangled. So that's really convenient. And so to start it off, I've got my 5.5 millimeter hook, and we're going to work. So I usually like to start my granny squares with the magic ring, but here it says to chain 4 and then join with a slip stitch to the first chain to create the ring. So that's what we're gonna do. And I don't know, I'm gonna leave that much of a tail. We'll see how we go. I don't think it specifies how long of a tail to leave, so I'm just going to try my best and gauge it. And I do expect to have to adjust my tension as I go, making it looser or tighter depending on how the colors go. So let's chain 6 and then work 3 double crochet. So we're starting with the corner here, that chain 6. Double crochet and then chain 3. So we're going to do 3 double crochet and then chain 3 and then work 3 more double crochet all in that middle ring. Okay. Oh, so I'm almost out. We'll see how I go. Chain 3 and then work 2 double crochet in the ring and then join. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Oh, wait. This might work. Oh, you guys, I'm so close. Oh man, so it's like right there. So I'm gonna just take out those. I'm not a big fan of taking out a lot of my work, but I do tend to crochet kind of tight on the tighter side, my tension. So I'm just going to take out those last few and kind of loosen up my tension a bit to see if that can sort of fix the problem. Okay, that might be good. Oh shoot, so wait. Let me tighten that one a little bit. And wow, that might be perfect. The color consistency is a bit, it's not perfect, but it's really close, like when it starts to change the colors. Okay, that's pretty good. I think wait, 1, 2, 3. Did I do that right? I think I messed something up. Oh, I need to slip stitch into that. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch into that beginning chain 3, the third chain of the first chain 6 to join that up. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay, not too bad. I'm impressed so far. So I tend to typically turn over my work, because that way the square doesn't end up being kind of like wonky on the edges. So let's see, it doesn't say to turn. So usually here I would turn my work over because I like my squares to be nice and crisp on the edges, and when you turn them on each round it kind of helps with that. But for this one it doesn't say turn, so I'm just going to not turn them and slip stitch into the corner stitch. Now it says chain 6 and then work 3 double crochet in the same chain 3 space. Okay, and then it says chain 1 and work 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet in the next chain 3 space. Okay, so we've got our next little corner. Wonder how I'm doing on my tension. I'm like so nervous. Do that 2 times more. Okay, I have to like double check, make sure I'm like following their pattern and I'm not just going in autopilot here. And sometimes you kind of have your way of doing it, and then it's like tend to just kind of forget. Oh, there's the color change. Let's see how I do. Okay, then chain 1 and then we'll do 2 double crochet in the first chain 3 space. So Since I'm so close, I'm just going to keep my tension a bit tighter here and see how I go. Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Not bad. Okay. Okay, look at that. Pretty good, guys. Look at that. I'm kind of impressed. Okay. So I guess my sort of more on the tighter side of tension works pretty well with this. Okay, so slip stitch in the chain 3 space, and then chain 6. I'm also I mean, I was concerned about the colors being kind of bold for me, but I mean, I also love bold colors, not gonna lie. But I mean, I wouldn't have probably chosen these exact colors to go together, but I felt like they had kind of a Valentine's Day sort of vibe about them, so I went for it, and I kind of like these colors together, not gonna lie. Okay, 3 double crochet, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space, and then probably chain 1, and then 3 double crochet, 3, yeah, chain 3, and then work 3 more double crochet in that same space, chain 1, and then follow that same motif all the way around. Sometimes I feel like as I go as well, my tension will loosen a bit, so I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about that a little bit, but we'll see how we go. So if it is an issue with lining up, then I will just take out those last few and see if tightening it is necessary. I don't know, I'm really close though. We'll see if it's exact. Ooh, oh wow, this is, oh man, it's just like, it like kind of starts to change on that last chain, but it's so close. So that last slip stitch that I did is actually pink. So I'm going to just undo those last 2 and tighten my tension and see if I can line it up perfectly. Actually, we'll undo that 3rd one from the middle space too to tighten it a bit. All right, and I got it. There we go. So that's pretty good. So as you can see, it's lined up pretty well. Hope that's focusing. That lined up pretty well. So now we're going to do the 4th round, but I'm pretty impressed so far. It's lining up pretty well. I definitely think that this is worth it since it's lining up so well. Yeah, I'm definitely impressed so far. So now as I approach the last row, I will finish out that last row with the white. So let's see how close I get with the transition. Oh, I can see it. Okay. Let's see how we did with tension. I might have to loosen it a bit. Yeah, so you can see there's like a little bit, like about 2 inches of excess pink there. So as I thought, my tension's pretty tight, like I said, so I'm just going to take it back a little bit and try and loosen it a bit. So that's pretty good. Look at that. So now I'm about to do that slip stitch and then go in with the last round. So it's not bad. So it's pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up this square with the last round. So I'm pretty impressed with this yarn. So you can see there's a little bit of dye inconsistencies here. There's like a little bit of a splotch of red. Doesn't really bother me, but good to know if, depending on what you're making, it could be a bit bothersome, a bit cumbersome to work with, but I don't mind it. Especially for not having to tie in all the ends. I mean, I don't really have a problem with sewing ends personally, but I know a lot of people don't like it. It is time consuming. It is annoying to create this whole project and then you have to like sew in all the ends. So this definitely does help. I think for me, I tend to have a bit of a tighter tension. So, and it works pretty well for me. Of course, if you have like a bit of a looser tension, or, you know, it might not be the best for you, but also like a lot of the color choices that they have are quite loud. There's like one neutral one. Obviously the one I'm working with is quite loud, but you know, if that's your style, if that's your thing, could be cool. I'm also like trying to think like, what will I make with this? I have no idea what I'll make with these granny squares. Maybe a kind of like sweater or cardigan style thing, or I was thinking maybe a dress. I have to figure it out. Something definitely Valentine's Day sort of themed though, because of all of the sort of like Valentine's Day themed color scheme that this has, and the heart beads that I have are definitely inspiring. So okay, here we go. We're coming up on the end point, the next color for the next granny square. So let's see how I do with tension. I think it's going to be pretty close. Maybe I loosened up. So I tried to sort of loosen up my tension on purpose this time, and you can see it's actually just too close. This is the second to last double crochet there. So I definitely ran into the next color. So I'm going to take out this whole side and tighten my tension back to the way that I normally do it to see if I can line it up a bit more closely. So if you don't like undoing and then redoing your work, then maybe just sticking to the normal way of making the granny square might be better. But if you hate weaving in all the ends, then maybe you don't mind undoing and redoing a couple of, and also paying mind to your tension, obviously, then maybe you don't mind. Okay, here we go. I think it's much better this time. So that's right in the slip stitch. It's changed already, but I think that it'll be fine. No, look at that. It's kind of annoying. So let me just take out those last few and tighten it even more. Like if you're kind of bothered by that, then that's going to be annoying. Like, I'm definitely bothered by that. Okay. That's better. Okay, there we go. Got it. So you can see this is the back, or this is rather the front, and then this is the back. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty proud. I'm not mad at this. And it measures just over 6 1/4 inches. This says it is 6 by 6 inches on here. But for me, it's definitely a little bit more than that. It's definitely closer to 6 1/4 inches, or let's see, in centimeters. Oh wait, so this says 15 centimeters. So yeah, it's definitely 16 centimeters. So that's good to keep in mind. Obviously that's going to depend on your tension. For me, as you can see, I tend to have a tighter tension, but then I would take out a little bit and loosen it up, or would tighten it up depending on obviously where the color change was, so that it could line up nicely. But mainly I loosened it up since I have a tighter tension. So yeah, so now I'll make a few more of these and I'll see what I make. All right, so I'm back and I've been making squares all weekend, and I have finished the whole skein of yarn, and I made about 15 squares in total, which is really funny because according to the skein, it says it makes about 14 squares. So I got an extra square out of it. Also, there was this much yarn left in the skein, and it didn't end up being enough to make another square. It was only enough to get to that red row, so it was row 3 in the square. So kind of interesting, but I have 15 squares, so I'm going to continue making squares with the rest of the skeins, and in my next video I'm going to put them together and make something out of them. So I'll have a poll on my community board. Check it out if you can, and let me know there, or as well as in the comments below, what you think I should make with all of these granny squares. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.